welcome back to Crafted Creations. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wave 1. I've already got a couple of these figures that I'd unboxed already, so we're going to start with those, but for the rest of them we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing and review as we go along. We're going to start with Wolverine. He's got some pretty great articulation here. He's got butterfly joints, he's got bicep swivel, double elbows, double knees, thigh swivel, and on the wrists he's got some rockers there as well. Comes with a couple additional accessories. He's got the maskless head and a little mask that you can put around the back. Then he's also got the clawed hands and the masked hands there. I already did a little bit of customization on the claws on mine to make those look a little bit more metallic, so don't worry if yours doesn't look the same. Now, Magneto looks pretty awesome. Classic style costume for Magneto. Really good detail on the shadowing on the eyes. No butterfly joints on him, but he does have bicep swivel, double elbows, thigh swivel. He's got double knees as well, and some good ab crunch there. Wolverine also has really nice ab crunch on that figure as well. Now I'm hoping that the heads will swap out on this one from the Wave 2 figure, so I can get a maskless head. But the only thing that he comes with is some additional hands, which are pretty cool looking. I'll probably end up using these. I'm going to make a custom energy field for him. So now let's move on to Bishop. He's one of the most impressive figures of the line. Big bulky boy. You can see just by the weight and the size of him that he's going to be quite a bit bigger than the other figures. Now Bishop also has a new makeover. He doesn't have his mullet haircut from the previous series in the comic. No butterfly joints on Bishop, but there is some sculpted detail and some overlays on here. The folds on the cuffs of his sleeves are an overlay that sits between the bicep swivel and his shoulder. He does have double elbows, double knees, thigh swivel, and boot swivel for Bishop. His accessory, the gun, is really gummy, so it's a little hard to get it to fit in his hand pretty easily. We're going to go ahead and try the alternate hand and see if that works better. Be careful when you go ahead and take off his hands there, because the cufflinks are an overlay as well, so those will go flying off if you're not too careful. But yeah, you do kind of have to pry the hand open in order to get the gun in there, because it's so soft that it just won't even fit unless you pry the hands open. But this is a really good looking figure. Can't wait to see him tower over the others, especially look at him compared to Wolverine there. Now we've got Storm. Let's go ahead and open her up. Just at quick glance, I can tell she's not going to be the best figure in the line. Probably the worst of the Wave 1, just by articulation. No butterfly joints. Her joints are really stiff. She does have the upgraded look on here with the mohawk. I do like the ponytail mohawk in the back, but this vinyl cape is leaving a lot to be desired. I'm not sure this thing's going to hold up over time. But she does have double knees. She's only got the single elbows on her. They're very loose joints, and the elbows and the legs are really stiff. So we'll come back to her. Let's go ahead and take a look at Rogue. Rogue is one of the ones I was most excited to get. I only saw her once on the shelves, and I've been waiting to open her up just to make this video here. I've had her for a while. Be careful on the Wave 1 figures. Hasbro doesn't seem to put any tape over the accessories, so when you open those up, the hands, alternate hands and accessories just go flying all over the place. It looks like in the box they gave her hand holding a glove and then also put a gloved hand on there in the box. She probably could have come packaged with the gloveless hand. That would make more sense for display purposes, but then again, what do I know? Let's go ahead and switch these back to the alternate fists and take a look at Rogue. No butterfly joints on her, pretty standard articulation, single elbows. She does have double knees on here with thigh swivel. Pretty good range of motion on there. Her ankles are a little stiff, and those only lock into place in 2 different spots, so we'll see how much standability she has once we get her on the shelf. Yeah, good range of motion. Overall, great figure. Definitely one of the best in the line. She does have some pretty awesome photoreal eye paint details on there. So the face is really, really good. The hair sculpting is really nice as well. Definitely got that animated look, but still could fit in on a classic shelf as well. And last but not least, my personal favorite X-Man since I was a kid, we've got Remy LeBeau, or as he's better known, Gambit. Let's take a look, and yep, as you see, no tape over the bow staff, so that went flying. But he does come with a few extra accessories, unlike some of the other figures. Sculpted trench coat may get in the way of the articulation, but it looks like he's got a good range of motion here on the arms. He does have the single cut elbows, similar to the Black Series, new Black Series figures that have the deeper cut to allow more range of motion. The nice thing with Gambit is he has deep ab crunch and waist swivel, along with the thigh swivel and the double knees. Very, very nice. Reminds me more of some of the Spider-Man figures with the hip swivel. Alternate accessories, he's got the kinetic card hand, and then he also comes with a single card that you can do. Probably use this one on the shelf. Just looks a little bit cooler. We're going to take a look at Wave 2 of the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 series. First, we're going to go ahead and open up this Goblin Queen figure. And first look, she looks pretty good. Nice sculpt. Hasbro definitely took my advice from the last wave and started putting tape over these hands so they don't fly out of the package when you open them. Head sculpt looks really nice. We've got this little baby Cable here. Not entirely thrilled with the plastic cape. I can tell this thing's going to be a pain in the butt to stand on the shelf. Also, the heels, that's going to make it incredibly difficult to put this thing on a shelf without a figure stand. Articulation's pretty good, no butterfly joints, but she does have some good rotation on the arms. Bicep swivel, double elbows. She's also got double knees, thigh swivel as well. Pretty good range of motion there, but yeah, I can tell with the weight of the sculpted plastic cape, this thing's just going to be a nightmare to try to stand on her own. Yeah, the cape also gets in the way quite a bit when you're trying to stand or put her in poses, so we'll see how this thing does. Up next, we've got personal favorite here, Cyclops. This might be the best figure of the entire line so far. It's definitely close between this, Wolverine, and Rogue. Nightcrawler, honorable mention. We'll get to him here in a little bit. Once again, thank you for taping the hands this wave, Hasbro. Cyclops does come with a lot of accessories. You can see here he does have butterfly joints, bicep swivel. He's also got some overlays on the gloves, so be careful when you pull the alternate hands off that those don't come flying off. With the ab crunch too, very nice job on the sculpting with his bandolier. Doesn't really get in the way. He's got a very nice range of motion. With the legs, he does have boot swivel, thigh swivel, double knees, along with the double elbows. Very cool figure. He makes up for what some of the figures are lacking in accessories with the alternate hands and the alternate head with the optic blast. We'll go ahead and try that out for size here. Oh yeah, this thing's awesome. Really, really cool figure. Reminds me of the old Marvel vs. Capcom days, playing that in the arcades against my big brother. Cyclops was always one of my mains, so this is awesome to get on the shelf here. Next up, we've got Nightcrawler. This is a really cool figure. I can already see he's got some great articulation. Just the alternate hands and alternate head with him. Yeah, this Nightcrawler figure is really, really cool. He does have bicep swivel, double elbows. He's got the hinge and rocker on the hands, but this one does have waist swivel along with the ab crunch. Being one of the more acrobatic figures, that'll definitely go a long way with the posability. Double knees and thigh swivel as well, and pretty good range of motion on the feet. The tail does not bend. It is a very soft plastic rubber. I imagine you could probably get this to hold different positions if you were to soak it in some hot boiling water and then flash it in an ice bath. That'll usually get the plastic to hold in place. It does twirl around, so you can get the tail pointing up or down depending on how you want to pose him. This is a really cool figure. I like this shading on the head there. Kind of makes him look like he's lurking in the shadows. Next, we've got Magneto in his Uncanny X-Men 200 costume, as seen in episode 2 of the recently released X-Men 97 series. Magneto also just comes with alternate hands and an alternate angry head. I may use this alternate head either to put on the Wave 1 Magneto, or as I joke around, to make a very nice Christopher Lambert Raiden custom from the Mortal Kombat movie. The likeness on this is eerily similar to Chris Lambert's. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and see if this head fits on the Wave 1, because I would very much like a maskless head to go on this figure as well. And yeah, you do have to push it down a little bit to get the ball joint to rest in place without making the neck look too crazy long, but that fits perfectly. I think I'm probably going to go with the normal head as an alternate for Magneto and put on the shelf here. And next one we'll take a look at here is the Executioner. And in the series, he's one of the bad guys in episode 2, spoiler alert. He comes with a ton of accessories, definitely making up for some of the other figures. Here he's got the Sentinel Tech Blaster. It looks like a Mega Man Mega Buster. Sculpted scarf over the shoulder here. Now the hand placement in the gun's a little tough, so you're going to have to pry that hand open in order to get him to hold the gun pretty well. It's a very awkward shape, but with a little work you'll be able to get it. He does not have butterfly joints, does have the bicep swivel, double elbow, double knees, thigh swivel, fairly good range of motion on the ankles. The little plastic cover here is just keeping the tip on the gun from getting bent, so I'm going to keep that on there. And finally, we've got Jean Grey. This was one of the last figures to come in. Thank you very much for the Collectors Helping Collectors thread and Twitter. Tom hooked me up with this one last minute, just in time to get this video out. This is a great looking figure. Pretty good articulation. She doesn't have the butterfly joints, but the double elbows, she really gets pretty good range of motion on there. And the shoulder pads are actually an overlay that fit along the peg on the inside. So that doesn't get in the way of the range of motion on the shoulders as well. With the legs, she's got thigh swivel, double knees, and typical articulation in the ankles. Let's go ahead and try this out with the alternate hands here. I do want to call out the sculpting detail here on the wrists. This is something that I wish they would do more of, especially on Spider-Man figures and the elbows. On the outside of the hand, they matched up the joint on the wrists so that it disguises in with the hand on the outside. I get that you couldn't really do it on the underside to make it flesh tone without making it a two-part mold, but very nice job on the sculpting detail on the costume here. The color looks a little off. I think there's a little too much yellow in this. Looks a little brighter than Jean's costume looks like in the animated series, but here's a look at Wolverine and maskless head, and then the masked version. Or we've got Magneto. And here I've got Magneto with a head swap from the Wave 2 Magneto. There we've got Bishop. And better look at Storm. There we've got Rogue with the gloved hands and with her gloveless hand. And Gambit. Let's take a look here at a couple pictures of the Goblin Queen here on the shelf. There she is with little baby Cable. Here we've got Scott Summers, Cyclops. Another look there with the alternate head firing the optic blast. And here we have Nightcrawler. There he is in a more acrobatic pose. Just gonna do one picture of Magneto. This is a pretty basic figure. We already saw the alternate head on there earlier. And here is the Executioner. And last, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at Jean. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more, please go ahead and follow the channel. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment if you'd like to see more from us. And as always, stay crafty.